You're here trying to cut through the noise, right? To get the essential insights on, complex stuff without wading through endless articles. That's exactly what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into something called cross-protocol. It's a significant new player really making waves in the Web3 gaming space. We've sifted through the research to get you well-informed fast.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is just the immediate need for clarity. In the blockchain world, I mean, names can be really tricky, deceptively similar sometimes. So we're zeroing in specifically on cross-protocol, the Layer 1 blockchain built for Web3 gaming. Very important to distinguish it from, say, a cross-protocol or just the general idea of a cross-chain transfer protocol. Different things entirely. Our aim today is really to unpack its vision, which is ambitious, its technical strengths, but also critically the significant challenges it faces.
Okay, so let's dig into the core of it then. For you, the gamer, what's cross-protocol's big promise? Like, what's the main draw?
Well, at its heart, cross-protocol is really all about empowering players with true ownership of their in-game assets. Think of it like transforming your digital sword or maybe a rare pet into a unique NFT, a non-fungible token.
Okay.
And this is a pretty fundamental shift from traditional gaming where your assets are essentially just data points locked on the company's server, right?
Hey, you don't really own them.
Exactly. With cross-protocol, the idea is those assets become truly yours, and that opens up real economic potential. You could trade them, rent them out, maybe even create and sell your own in-game content.
That does sound revolutionary. But, the blockchain world can sometimes feel a bit clunky, maybe, for the average user. How do they actually deliver on this, this seamless player ownership idea? What's sort of the technical secret sauce? What's under the hood?
Right. So they've built what's called the cross-chain. It's a high-performance, EVM-compatible Layer 1 blockchain.
EVM-compatible, okay.
Yeah, and EVM-compatible is pretty key because it basically means it can integrate smoothly with the huge ecosystem of developer tools and smart contracts that were originally built for Ethereum. This chain is designed to be fast. We're talking over 5,000 transactions per second.
Wow.
But I think, critically, they've introduced something called dynamic gas fee delegation.
Dynamic gas fee. What does that mean exactly?
It essentially means that game developers can actually sponsor your transaction fees.
Oh, okay.
So that whole confusing and sometimes costly step of paying gas for every little action, it can be completely removed for the player.
That's a huge friction point gone then.
Exactly. It makes it much easier for mainstream gamers to jump in. And this focus on developer simplification, making it easy for them too, that's potentially a massive catalyst for growth and adoption.
That definitely sounds like a powerful engine. But great tech doesn't always mean instant real-world success, does it? What are we actually seeing in terms of its market traction? Like real-world impact so far?
Well, the project has shown some pretty rapid market expansion initially. Our sources point to listings on major exchanges like MEXC, BitGet, Binance Alpha, and KuCoin, all happening around July 2025. That boosts liquidity and visibility,
Sure, exchange listings are important.
And maybe a more significant win, something highlighted in the research, was the migration of Ragnarok, Monster World.
Oh, yeah, I know that title.
Right, a well-known game.
Yeah.
It moved from the Ronin blockchain over to cross-protocol. And that kind of move signals, some early tangible developer confidence. Someone big enough made the switch.
Okay, interesting. But every deep dive uncovers layers, right? And often some challenges. Our sources do bring up some notable controversies here. What are the major hurdles or maybe reputational concerns facing cross-protocol?
Yeah, this brings up a really important question about trust in this space. Despite the technical strengths and the market activity we just talked about, cross-protocol does face some considerable reputational concerns. These seem to largely stem from allegations linked to its founder, Henry Chang, specifically controversies around WEMIX token manipulation back during his time at WeMade. And then more recently, there have been stock front-running allegations involving Nexus, which is the core developer behind cross-protocol.
Serious allegations. And how do these kinds of issues impact a project like this? Especially in Web3 where, let's face it, trust is absolutely paramount.
Well, they create a pretty profound trust deficit. It's hard to overstate that. We've seen this reflected directly in the token's fully diluted valuation, the FDV. That's basically the project's theoretical market cap of all tokens we're circulating.
Right.
And seeing that FDV decline significantly after the public sale, It caused pretty big losses for early investors. It's a clear signal the market weighs integrity really heavily alongside the tech.
Yeah, you can't just innovate your way out of trust issues.
Not easily.
Right.
Plus, you have to remember the Web3 gaming sector itself is intensely competitive. You've got established players like Solana, Immutable X putting serious resources into this. And then there are just the general Web3 challenges like security risks, especially for things like cross-chain bridges, which are vital for their strategy. We've seen huge exploits there before, like the Ronin bridge hack. That's always a background risk.
Okay, so on one hand, you've got this project with a compelling vision, some pretty robust tech. But on the other hand, it's navigating some very significant reputational hurdles and market headwinds.
Indeed. It is worth noting, though, they seem aware of this. Their commitment to regulatory compliance, setting up the Opengame Foundation in Switzerland, for example, and having a fixed token supply. These look like strategic moves designed specifically to try and build trust and project long-term stability, addressing some of those market concerns head-on.
Right, trying to counter the narrative.
Exactly.
So for you, our listener, here's maybe a final thought to ponder as you navigate this whole digital frontier, this rapidly evolving world of Web3 gaming where trust and security are just so crucial. How effectively can strong technology and that early market momentum actually overcome past controversies and the inherent risks of, say, a multi-chain strategy? That's a really fascinating balance to watch unfold, isn't it? Something to keep an eye on.